From the Frank Beck Studio Annex, this is Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenault. And first things first, as always, first thing to do here is I'm going to ask you, if you haven't done so yet, to get down there in the corner and smash that like and subscribe button. If you would, please, you'll be doing me a huge favor. Thanks so much. Thank you. Tigers with more late inning dramatics. Second game in a row. Sweep the Mariners. Talk about that, and we'll talk about it's been kind of an eventful week for the Lions this week as they prepare to leave for Kansas City, take on the Chiefs on Saturday. So we'll try to wrap that all up with throw in a few other things for you here within the next 20 minutes or so. So here we go. Time Out Overtime is sponsored in part by Frank Beck Chevrolet and M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. And if it's time for a new-to-you vehicle, let the sales pros at Beck's help you choose the right vehicle. New or pre-owned, Beck's has the top selection of the tri-state area with over 200 vehicles in stock. Stop by and see for yourself, and when you're ready, ask for Russ McMorty, Chris Hodis, Danny Smith, Adam Schaefer, Blake Bryant, Cameron Mincio, Bob Flynn, or Peyton Lucas. And when it comes time to service that new-to-you vehicle, the service pros at Beck's can fix it. Any make, any model, Ford or domestic, Beck's can fix it. And if you have a bit of a crunch or fender bender, Beck's Body Shop can put it back together just as good as new. So for all your automotive needs, look no further than Frank Beck Chevrolet at M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville at 517-849-2886 or on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. Come and experience the Frank Beck difference. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. I too, as I have been quite a bit lately, I'm going to remind you of a very special event which will transpire at Frank Beck Chevrolet on Saturday, September the 14th. Very special event. And if you haven't done so yet, put that date in your phone. Put a big circle around that date on the calendar, or mark an X there, or whatever. But I'll be elaborating on that in just a minute or so. So don't go anywhere. As I just said, the Tigers completed a sweep in the most surprising fashion, stunning, if you will. They completed a sweep of the Mariners today with a 2-1 win, in spite of the fact that they only had 3 hits. And the last one, of course, was the game-winning hit by none other than Javier Baez. Now, as much as we maligned him, he's had a much better second half, of course, than he did the first half. And of course, you might even say that this is probably for him, maybe the whole time he's been here, maybe the best stretch of baseball he's been playing for the Tigers. Can he maintain this, keep doing this for the rest of the season? Well, we'll find out. But like as I say, as much as we maligned him, he has had some big hits in recent weeks. And today was another one. So the Tigers up their record now to 59-63. A little bit more about today's game. The hit came in the bottom of the 8th inning from Baez, a 2-run homer with Parker Meadows on third. There were 2 outs, and he hit it off the Mariners closer, Andres Munoz, who hadn't given up a run since June 26th. Since June 26th, hadn't given up a run. In fact, he had not allowed a hit in his last 12 appearances. That's look, the Mariners manager brought him in and wanted to get a 4-out save from him. Of course, he didn't. That didn't happen. He didn't get that. But that shows you how badly they wanted to win that game today. It was almost a must-win for them. They probably looked at their schedule a couple of weeks ago and saw that they had 6 games coming up with the Tigers and felt pretty good about it. Look, hey, if you want to look at it, Tigers won 5 out of 6 from them the last couple of weeks. And the one loss was a walk-off by the Mariners. Tigers probably should have swept them in 6 games. Mariners are bottom third in offense. They hit better on the road than they do at home, but that ballpark they play in is pretty much a pitcher's ballpark. It's not exactly hitter's park. So Mariners are in a heap of trouble right now. They're in second place behind the Astros, and then, like I said, they were in desperate need of a win today, and they obviously didn't get it. It didn't happen. So going back to Tuesday night, because we had been on the air since the Tigers had that 50-1 win, and Jake Rogers hit the grand slam and had the 7 RBI. Point something out to you. That's the most RBIs by a Tiger in a single game since Ryan Rayburn in 2007. Ryan Rayburn in 2007. So, and Jake Rogers is another one who I think has had a much better second half than he did the first half. He's picked it up with a bat. So, bring up some stats too about comment on AJ Hinch had his morning had his interview with the guys on the ticket this morning, and they do this I think every 2 weeks or so. And he was asked about Spencer Torkelson, and he did say that last week he had a face-to-face meeting with him just to see where he was at, what his frame of mind was, and everything. And he appeared to say that everything was all right. If you're interested in his stats, what he's done at Toledo up to this point, in 222 at bats, he's batting .243. That's decent for him. He's had 11 home runs, 43 RBI, and his OPS is over 800. In fact, it's 812. That's pretty decent. I fully expect Torque to be back up here within the next couple of weeks. And quite frankly, I'm surprised AJ Hinch didn't mention anything about that this morning. They wanted to find out where they're at with him, and he didn't give them any kind of a scoop or anything like that. He didn't say anything to think that he would be back up here shortly. So anyway, I think Torque's done all right down there, but let me tell you about this before we get into the Lions. And I take a swig of water. My usual time for a water swig here. Hang on a second. Another thing I wanted to mention about the Tigers, too. A couple of more things. Back before we get to this promo about September the 14th. A couple more things I want to mention about the Tigers. They have the Yankees coming in now for 3 games. Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon. But it's really only 2. Sunday afternoon's game will be played in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and it will not be an afternoon game. It's a 7:05, 7:10 start. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Tigers and the Yankees from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, as they will be playing in the Little League Classic. The Tigers will be the home team, so that won't change anything. And Trey Sweeney was one of the 2 prospects that the Tigers acquired at the trade deadline from the Dodgers for Jack Flaherty. And he's really had a pretty decent season so far since he's joined the Mud Hens down there. In fact, I looked up his numbers. These are combined at bats his entire season. He's and 431 plate appearances all season. He's batting .267, folks, with 15 home runs, 71 RBI, 20 stolen bases, and an OPS of 795. And that's pretty good. That's darn good. He's a left-handed batter. I fully expect him to make the team next year. I think you're going to see him splitting time at shortstop with Javier Baez. And another thing that A.J. Hinch mentioned this morning is this is a primary, and again, Sweeney is a left-handed batter. The Tigers are in dire need. Of course, they've got Vierling, Matt Vierling, very good utility player, reliable utility player, right-handed batter, and Baez. But what he did mention about Torque, that yes, they needed another right-handed bat in this lineup. Was he hinting that he would be up soon? He didn't do that, and they didn't press him on it. So I don't know. Anyway, that's about it for the Tigers. One more thing too. I was looking at their schedule. After they're done with the Yankees on Sunday, they go to Chicago for 6 games: 3 with the Cubs, 3 with the White Sox. It's been a bad year for baseball in Chicago this year, folks. Cubs haven't been doing very well, but not nearly as bad as the White Sox. But neither team is very good. Hey, go to Chicago next week and win 5 out of 6, or better still, sweep 6 games. See if we get back to 500. I think the goal for this team, and Hitch did say he's proud of these guys, proud of his players for hanging in there even after the trade deadline. They haven't given up anything, conceded nothing, which is good. Kenta Maeda pitched very well today in relief. He was unhittable. So suddenly he looks much better than he did at the start of the season. Because, and very good for the Tigers, because remember, they've still got him for one more year after this year yet. So let's hope he can build on this, get some confidence back, and be a reliable starter. Maybe he'll be back in the rotation soon, but next year, By the way, that Sunday night game on ESPN, guess who's starting for the Tigers? Some guy named Skubal. Yeah. By the way, Skubal, he's probably the odds-on favorite right now, the betting favorite in Las Vegas to win the American League Cy Young. Not only that, but the triple crown of pitching. It would be wins, ERA, and strikeouts. He's been that good. And thank God the Tigers haven't for 2 more years yet. Oh. By the way, too, age is getting one more thing. Can't let the Tigers go. One more thing. Spencer Torkelson has a birthday coming up on the 26th of this month. He will be 25. Want to throw in there. I mean, he's not exactly over the hill. And as far as Trey Sweeney goes, he's a year younger. He's 24. He's been very good at Toledo. In fact, I attempt to go down there and watch him one of these nights. Anyway, is that it for the Tigers? I think I've got everything for the Tigers out of the way now. Okay. Don't forget, as I said before, on Saturday, September the 14th, Frank Beck Chevrolet will be celebrating their 9th annual salute to first responders. This year, there will be a special tribute to the Hillsdale County Sheriff's Department, and rightfully so. Bring the kids, let them get close to emergency vehicles, meet police and firefighters, play games, and more. There will be a free lunch. You sign up for prizes as we celebrate the area's first responders. There will also be a poker run as well. That's Saturday, September the 14th from 10 to 2 at Frank Beck Chevrolet at M99, of course, between Hillsdale and Jonesville. You can get more info on the web at frankchevy.com. Stop by and experience the Frank Beck difference, especially on Saturday, September the 14th. Lock that in your phone. Special events. Put a big circle around that on your calendar. We will be doing the timeout show from there on Saturday morning. I expect you folks to stop by and say hi when you're out there from 10 to 2 Brankbeck Chevrolet and M99, Saturday, September the 14th. Bring the kids, bring the whole family. It'll be a fun-filled day for the whole family. I can promise you that. A lot of fun for the kids. The kids will love it. So, okay, Lions will leave tomorrow for Kansas City. The good news is there are no serious injuries. I know Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw had to leave the field after practice on Monday night. Looks like they're nothing serious. They're going to be good to go for the regular season. Someone who's, to me, though, is looking like more and more they're not going to be good to go for the regular season is DJ Reader. We'll get into that in just a minute. I want to finish up on this injury report, though. Even Hendon Hooker has passed concussion protocol. He's been practicing. He will play Saturday. I don't know if he's starting or not. Campbell hasn't said. Well, what Andy Reid has said was his starters or first stringers are playing the first half on Saturday. Must be Andy likes playing Russian roulette. This includes Patrick Mahomes. If I were him, I wouldn't do it. To me, it's like rolling the dice almost. No, I didn't see that. So anyway, that's at 4:00 Saturday afternoon on the Lions preseason network here, which is Fox 47. Mahomes is starting. Well, that'd be a good test for the Lion defense anyway. Well, they'll get to see where they're at. But again, if I was Andy Reid, I wouldn't be doing this. That's up to him. Also, as far as the Lions go, Hendon Hooker, as I said, has passed protocol. He will be playing. We don't know if he's starting or not, but I'll say something about DJ Reader. I doubt, folks, that he's going to be ready to go on Sunday night, September the 8th. What? Levi Onwuzurike has been the rave of training camp so far. Dan Campbell can't say enough good things about him. He's put on more weight. He's in shape. He's feeling good. He's dominated. So it looks to me like the starting defensive tackle tandem for Sunday night, September the 8th, it was going to be Aleem McNeil and Levi Onwuzurike. We don't know where DJ Reader is at, and that's the one question that when they had him on the ticket, was it Wednesday morning or Tuesday morning? It was Tuesday morning when they had him on the ticket. They didn't ask him about Reader. But looking more and more to me like he's not going to be ready. Remember, he's coming off a torn quad. So we'll get to see. We'll get to see if actually Onwuzurike is really what they're talking about. Oh, he's like, been Superman in training camp. Bad news, especially if you're a Michigan fan. As we go around the NFL here, and we're going to try to do this once the season gets underway, a segment in the show called Around the NFL. If you haven't heard by now, I'm sorry to talk about this. J.J. McCarthy sustained they're calling it a torn meniscus. He's had surgery and he will be out for the entire season. I'm not a doctor. If it's just a torn meniscus, I wouldn't think he'd miss a whole season. Maybe there's more going on in that knee than they're telling us, but that's a shame. Just a shame. He played well over the weekend in the Vikings' first preseason game. He looked good. So now they're back to, they went through this again last year when they lost Kirk Cousins, fairly early in the year to a torn Achilles. Uh, 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 yeah, we're not Viking fans here, but you hate to see anybody get hurt, especially JJ. It's a shame. Also, the Atlanta Falcons have made a trade. I think I'm making the Falcons my favorites to win the NFC South this year. They traded a third-round pick to the New England Patriots in return for outside linebacker, and pass rusher Matthew Judon. Judon was hurt most of last year. I think he only totaled 2 sacks. His forte is getting after the quarterback, like it is for the Lions, James Houston. And again, I'm glad the Lions have given up on that experiment of having him be a coverage linebacker, just letting him get after the quarterback. Fine, do your thing, James. Third down, get the quarterback. Enough of this having him cover, trying to make a coverage linebacker out of him. That experiment didn't last too long because it didn't work. No. So Matthew Judon is now an Atlanta Falcon, but he is in the last year of his contract. So unless they sign him to a new deal, he'll be one and done in Atlanta. And then that was part of the problem with New England. Isn't it the problem with every player? He wants to get paid. He wants more money. Same thing the 49ers are having right now with their Devo wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk. We were told a couple of weeks ago that we thought that they were close to trading him to either the Steelers or the Browns, which would have made a Lion fan very happy to see him traded to the AFC. Now it's looking like they're trying to retain him. They want to let him go. They're trying to deal with what they have and trying to work something out. I still don't think that's going to happen, because remember they've got to pay Brock Purdy too. It's almost time for them to do that. One more thing to it before I forget, because I've got it written down here. Probably the most important thing of our whole segment tonight. Tennessee Titans, pardon me. Tennessee Titans quarterback Will Levis has come out with his own line of cologne, a mayonnaise scented cologne. Yeah, you heard me right. Mayo scented cologne that Will Levis has come out with. So if you're in church or something, or at a wedding, or a special event or a party, if you're at a party and you smell mayonnaise, now you know why. I think we'll end it with that. Don't forget, Saturday morning here locally with Andy and Jet, the Timeout Show from 9 to 10 on 92.1 WCSR, 92.1 FM. And I will be with you again this is Thursday, so I will be with you again on Saturday. So until then, remember to treat each other with respect and have a good evening. So long, everybody.